Oh, wow. It just transitioned. Hi. Sup? How we doing? How's it going?
On Wednesdays where we wear pink.
On Wednesdays we were pink. That is the mantra of Starstruck. It's on Wednesdays. We were pink. Hey, Mike. You're pink today, too. We miss you.
They're pink in
Oh,
solidarity.
yes. Love it. Well, welcome in, folks. Welcome to unMadeGaming's channel. Mike's not fucking here, so we can do whatever the fuck we want. Which is basically just play a space game. Like, we missed y'all last week, and we're super stoked to be back. We have a very exciting story to kind of cover today. We actually have multiple story paths we're going to be kind of covering today, so I'm super stoked for that. Want to give a big shout out, though, and thank you to Roll20 for sponsoring us. That's where you can find Starstruck. It was made by amazing people for and on Roll20, and we're going to be using a bunch of their stuff tonight featured here, and we're also part of the Roll20 Spotlight program, so thank you so much, Roll20. If you're looking for some virtual tabletop fun, check them out. I believe this is the point where I say, that being said. Does that feel right? Okay, I'm getting the nod. Getting the nod. Cool. Great. Last time.
You're doing great, sweetie.
Thanks. We're very goofy tonight. Which is perfect for the game that we're playing. Because last time that we were together, the whole group actually was on the same fucking object floating in space. Everybody was there. We had Sparksy, who was politely escorted away by 3 Grimalkins, essentially. We had Tink and Lopa made their way back, or not back, but finally to Golgi with how many eyes are we at now? 16 eyes?
16. It's
16.
16.
Yeah.
It's always been 16. I keep
Yes.
very dedicated notes.
Yeah, your notes are incredulous. Yes. And Jiminy Onus Arrow, who unfortunately is not joining us tonight, but is absolutely here in spirit. We watched as everybody walked past his ship that he was on, ready to figure out where his, friend is a forgiving word, but not the right one. We'll find out what happens to Jiminy when Michael returns, but for now, let's go ahead and start with... I feel like we're going to start with Lopa and Tink tonight.
Okay.
We're greeted as the camera fades in with bright neon colors of this cyberpunk-looking city. This city of the dead where... a large amount of Eno reside, a large amount of people who believe and practice in the old crafts of necromancy. A forbidden practice on pretty much anywhere else. Golgi the Magnificent itself almost honors that belief system, being a corpse, essentially, that is now a habitated space station, kind of drifting through space. Tink and Lopa, where were the two of you heading off to? You had just arrived.
Well, frankly, I don't know where to go from here. All I knew to do was go to Golgi. Lopa, do you have
Yes.
somewhere to go?
unfortunately. And Lope was kind of looking around as if she kind of doesn't want to be here, but she has to. And she takes out, well, first, while they were walking, and we had that whole thing happen last game, uh, she swiped another pad, as you do, so that she can get updated information. Someone now has someone else's pad from like another planet. Um, According to the pad, it shows where she needs to go or the direction that she needs to go relative to where they are, and then turns to Precious Rupert and says, I need to get better. I mean, I'm not feeling too hot. I'm not feeling too well.
Right. Of course.
I gotta get better. There's some people here that would be able to help me, and then we're gonna go there. And we're gonna use those skills I taught you about, low profile. Now you can't walk slow here, but you can, like try to be like, don't go off the trail of where I am. Just stay close to me, okay?
Of course. And you stay close too, because we'll get there safe together. I can pretend that I am more functional and kind of like some windshield wipers will wipe the stickers off of the glass visor and Dink will like pull out like a big wrench and then start walking mechanically. Like, see, they'll think that I'm headed to a job.
And Lopa kind of just like approaches you and like takes her paws and then like gently like presses them upon you, but not like shoves you. It's almost like a caress.
Yeah.
And it's like, stop. It's okay.
Okay.
You just act normal as you would. Okay. I will take those stickers and I will put them in my bag and you will put them back on later. Okay.
Okay.
And so takes the stickers from where they came off, just puts them in the bag, and then actually takes one of the stickers and kind of like still puts it back on the windshield because Lopa's become fond of the stickers. It doesn't feel right to not have stickers on the robot. So it's like, it's okay. We're gonna go. You're fine. Oh, do you need any oil?
Actually, no. I got quite a supply back at our last stop. I should be okay for now.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that you're good. Okay, you're good. Okay, you're good. All right, here we go. Just acting normal. And Lopa walks in the direction of where they need to go, which is to the people who will be able to.
Tink kind of just mimics a little bit too in a low voice, be like, acting normal. And I will follow Lopa's lead.
All right. Well, the two of you, as you kind of wander on through, why don't the both of you go ahead and roll me some sort of like observation, like just kind of like a passive look around. Like, are you kind of attuned to your surroundings? Sort of skill check.
Complexity.
Complexity 2.
Okay. Let's see. I'll do streetwise. Boop. 2. Sweet.
Okay, so we have 2 passes. Excellent. As the two of you are kind of like walking through this area, you notice that there are people who kind of like they're looking at you, and by people I mean more Eno. They have hoods up. They're very much covered in dark kind of clothes, and they're relatively short in comparison, maybe even compared to Lopa. And you kind of notice that as you walk by, there's just like just whispers as like beady little eyes kind of follow you.
Pull my hood up tight over me. I'm trying to wrap up as much as I can, but my rainbow of stuff that I got from the good chef is just, it's not like the good stuff, but I just get it.
Lopa, if you need to get inside, just say so.
I thank you, but they won't let just a robot into the place that we're going into because you don't have skin like me.
Oh.
So not that they wouldn't like you, it's just that they would be suspicious, and we're trying not to be suspicious.
Sure.
But thank you for the offer.
Okay.
And just
good.
Thank you. And then keep going. Lopa's like 2 seconds away though from like punting one of the whispering because it's just like, shut up.
Yeah.
Shut
and Tink will just be keeping a very close eye on anybody very close that we pass.
Okay. Nothing seems to come from the whispers. It's just these folks seem to have absolutely pegged you from not being around here. Just outsiders. They're not too certain who you are, what type of business you're looking for here. Oftentimes, folks that come are looking to do some shady dealings with the dead. And that's frowned upon in a lot of areas. So the two of you kind of are wandering through, right? And eventually you see a couple shops as you kind of start leaving some of the more radiant parts of the city. It's a little darker in this area. There's not as many lights, illuminating it. And there's a shop that kind of catches both of your eyes with that observation roll that you had done. It's wedged in between 2 other shops of nondescription, but it's got this small red door that really makes it stick out compared to the others. And there is a flower drawn in paint, like yellow paint.
Is the flower pretty?
It is very pretty. It's simplistic, but yet compared to a lot of like death symbolism around you, here is this bright yellow flower against a bright red door. There are no windows into this shop, but you could see that it's tiny, right? It's like crunched up in between 2 like megaplex apartment buildings or something like that.
Is it big enough to let one Tink in?
With a little help, yes. With a little maneuvering. Mm-hmm.
With a little WD-40.
We can make it work. Just grease up the sides a bit, make sure you pull the hinge off. Yeah, it's all good.
Lopa, that feels like a good door.
Yeah, it does. This looks familiar. Okay.
Oh, well, that's even better.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. And Lopa approaches the door, looks around, looks okay, and then like knocks on the door and it's like tink, 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 and waits.
Tink, tink, tink.
You will hear tink, 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 tink back.
I love this. Where have you brought me?
And Lope was like, what do I say next? What do I say next? Tink, 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 tink. Waits.
You wait for a moment and then hear like wooden mechanisms starting to shift within the door, and you don't see anything out of the ordinary at first, but the area, the center of the flower kind of like sinks in and then slides off to the side, and there's like this rather large like peephole, and all you see is a big eye, very convex, kind of staring, looking at you, looking around, and it kind of like takes a moment, sizes you up, looks over to the Peacecraft friend, blinks a couple times, and then disappears into blackness. Another moment passes, and you hear, again, those wooden machinations as the door slowly shifts towards one side, welcoming you in, or at least opening, so you can enter.
Okay. Opa takes a deep breath and
Tink
looks.
just makes a fake breathing sound like
that's a breath. Yep, good job. You did good. And Lopa, like, without looking back at Tink, kind of like reaches their paw back and just goes like pat, 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 and congratulations. And then, like, still looking forward, and I was like, okay, how compact can you make yourself?
and Tink just sort of like takes their arms and just shoops them into the side of their body, so they just have like little
T-Rex.
little wiggly T-Rex hands.
Oh, no.
And we'll kind of do the same with their legs, so they're basically just waddly feet on a big barrel of a middle, and and a big head. I'll be like, I can't move very efficiently this way, but I could get in.
You can get in. That's. And I peek my head in to see if the inside is the same dimensions as the door. I'm having a suspicion that it's not. Like, once Tink gets in, they can actually unfurl themselves, but I'm gonna check and put my head there and look around.
Your inclinations were correct as you kind of poke your head in, maybe give a little sniff, ears kind of flicker, tail swishing, as you kind of like do a little quick inspection, to make sure that nobody's like pointing anything that's dangerous at you, and two, this is it's there's almost like a little drop down, and you feel like a cool rush of air. It's just a cave. It's seemingly just a hollowed out area, so it is significantly wider and taller on the inside, lit by these flat sconces against each wall, and if you were to start moving down the hallway, they would turn on as you move and turn off as you pass them.
Okay. And I like get behind Tink, and even if I can't do much, Lopa's compelled to like be behind just in case they might waddle too hard and but they're just like making sure. But even if they can't do anything, it's just like, okay, here we go. There you go. Careful. Careful. There you go. Okay. And while I'm doing that, I'm like looking around, making sure no one's seeing this, even though probably is. And then just like, once they're in, tries to spin around and figure out how to close the door.
There's no need to figure it out, because as soon as the both of you are fully inside, you can once again hear the tick 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 of wood. And if you were to turn around, now you can actually see these ornate, thick wooden blocks of gears. It's incredibly old school. This is just something that, in a world of technology, you just don't see mechanical things like this. Everything is digitized, and it's just this almost beautiful symphony of little pieces just spinning and moving, and pulleys and just ornate machinery that's closing the door, putting it back in place, and then you hear whoomp as this like thick metal rod just slides across. You have a suspicion there's no leaving at this point. That is an incredibly thick hunk of metal.
Okay. All right. Here we go. You can unfurl now. I think it's good enough. Tall enough.
Can I unfurl?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
you-
good.
yeah,
Yes,
you
I
would-
would go to normal size.
Yeah, it is. It's significantly wider. It definitely is just a small entryway. It probably burrows underneath the two other buildings,
Gotcha.
because you have a sense that you're moving downwards, rather than straight ahead like you would in a normal building.
Okay. Yep, we are walking. We're walking carefully. Carefully, not in a hurry, but walking. And but with a limp. BT ain't doing too well.
Okay. And yeah, Tinkle just walk on alert.
You, as you're kind of walking, it is a very long tunnel, and eventually not over, in your heads, you hear
Meow. Meow.
That does not answer our question, Lope.
I'm rusty on my vocals. Try again, please. Pretty please. With those words.
Why are you here?
My body not doing too well. I need a new one.
We see. Come in further.
Okay. Thanks.
Tink just keeps walking.
And as the two of you kind of continue to make your way through... Oh, no, wait. Do we have... Oh, we're half there. Thank you, Eris. Yeah, we're halfway. You start feeling a warmth. Not the good feeling warmth, but that coldness of the cave is dissipating. There's like a heat source here, and it starts getting brighter and no longer are their lights like modern technology lighting the way. Eventually they just kind of stop at some point, and the light that's emitting at the end of this tunnel is rather bright. And you almost have to shield your eyes or your sensors for a moment, but eventually you make your way through that light bridge, and inside is this massive chamber. There are rows and columns of tombs, of skulls, of bodies that have long been mummified. That includes Eno, Zavoy, Driftlings, Peacecrafts. It is almost like a library. One might like how it seems to be organized and how things seem to be stacked. And what do you do? What are you doing right now that you can see this in full effect?
I'm trying to find someone. These books are great, but I know I can't interpret them. So I'm trying to find, unfortunately, the person behind the voice. I've never felt more inclined to not want to be somewhere in my life, but having to be here. So just keep walking, looking around, sniffing around. I'm no longer feeling like I'm in danger, but it's more like a cat feeling like it's about to get spritzed. Just.
Okay. Tink?
Tink does not feel particularly afraid, but is watching Lopa and thinks that lots of things in here look pretty and interesting. And is just gonna kind of, Lopa, are you all right?
I'll hopefully be fine. And then it's like I'm almost collapse a little bit. I catch myself. The heat ain't doing too cool for the body. Wish it was cold, but the heat is just like amplifying the pain in my foot. And yeah, catch myself. Oh, catch. Thanks.
I believe, do we need to find the voice? Okay, well, we should find the voice then. Would you like a lift?
I don't want to inconvenience you.
Oh no, actually, since you drove me here, I have a lot of stored energy.
Okay. That's fine. I guess just don't knock over anything. I'm already in enough trouble.
Noted. I will not knock over anything.
Okay. And I kind of like get scooped.
Scooped up. And Tink won't put you inside the control room completely because it feels like it's important that whoever we come across sees you. So she's just gonna put you like on a shoulder, like on a nice flat shoulder surface.
Okay.
And just keep walking towards anything. If that voice comes back, I'll try to gauge where it came from.
And I'm sniffing, but it's real musky down here.
Yeah.
So.
It is, but go ahead and roll me. Streetwise, something that let's see if your senses can pick anything up. And Tink, Gesundheit. This is the same for you. Go ahead, the two of you. Let me go ahead and roll some sort of, again, observation. Complexity 2. Sorry. All right, we got 1 pass.
I'm gonna go with this one.
Okay, and 2 pass. Well done. Well done. The both of you. Although it is, I mean, it reeks of death and dried flowers. It's there is certainly an old fragrance down here that is, attempting to perhaps mask the long withstanding scent of death. However, the two of you are able to pick up like fresh oil. It is a noticeable sharp scent that kind of cuts through something so heavy, something so dark. Gezondheid.
Tink like pushes a button. Gives you a tissue, but it's like it's massive. It's like a blanket.
The size of like a bed sheet. A bed sheet on them.
It's so heavy. It's like one of those weighted bed sheets, and Lopa just goes.
Oh, sorry. Tears off a sliver of it.
Thanks. Just covers face.
Gives my windshield a polish with the rest, just to not waste.
As the two of you pick up that scent, the camera is going to move up to watch the two of you looking so small in this prodigious cavern. Again, we now can see just rows and rows and rows and rows and rows of some sort of file system of deceased. And we're going to continue moving, the camera flying past you, past each row, more rows upon more rows, to a little desk area. It's somewhat circular, and inside this circle we see Sparksy seated in a little chair. Chair's probably too big for them, but still seated in the chair. At the desk, you were told to wait here.
Like sees like Sparksy sitting in the chair, like their little feet are like swinging back and forth. Yeah, their little hand like politely like sitting on top of this thing.
I wonder when they're gonna come back. The quiet here. Better not get bored too fast. I think I'll sing a song. There's me, Sparksy, sitting in this room all by myself. Here's me, Sparksy. Wonder what's gonna come next.
And that's when he hops up on the chair and starts getting really into it, like doing like a full dance to like those little tiny 2-foot tall robots doing like a full dance to this song about how bored they are. And they're not worried about their volume control.
Clearly.
That's got an echo.
Clearly. Without a doubt, the two of you hear just this crescendo of noise echoing down, down, down the rows of death. However, Sparksy, you hear a door open as 3 chubby little cats, old in age, the Grimalkins, come cobbling out. And one of them just stops upon seeing you up and just dancing. Very, very. What's that frog from like Bugs Bunny? The hello my baby, hello my honey, hello my ragdoll. Yeah, that's basically
very
what they're
much
walking
that.
into. And the one stops. The other doesn't notice and then bumps into them, and then the third one bumps into them, and it does a little comedy of errors as they kind of like for a moment jump back, and they're standing in a triangle facing one another like cats do, and going like kind of hissing annoyedly so at one another, with a couple paws swatting and batting, but eventually return to look at you, straightening out their old robes and their hoods a little bit more. You are quite As you do that, the 3 of them just flip into the air and cling to whatever bit of like hanging drapery that they can, and staring down at you, just hissing. You can see their eyes just glowing red in anger at you and a little fear. They did not like being startled.
Sorry about that. I got kind of bored waiting. So, why am I here exactly?
2 of them stay up top. One reaching into their hood for a moment, their hand disappearing, and just pulls out this like almost blue flame ball and lightly lets it go, and it just kind of floats over towards one of the sisters as she takes it with her claw and slaps it into her forehead. You were brought here because we need your help, and we assume we never assume. We know you need ours.
Well, you know what they say when you assume. You make up. But out of you and me.
Child, we see all. What was, what is, and what will be.
Did you know what I had for lunch last week?
A tuna sandwich with oil, C52 brand.
Oh my gosh, you really are smart. If you love tuna sandwich, no one can really, fake that either. Well, I'm convinced.
As you had looked away for a moment, kind of talking to yourself, you look back up and they're gone. And now they're just standing next to you.
Oh, you got so fast. So, what do you need my help with?
Well, we need you to assist us voluntarily in a performance that will help us speak with the dead. And in return, we will help awaken something in you.
I feel pretty awake already. Yeah, I feel pretty awake. I don't feel like I need to sleep. Not that I do need to sleep. I do like to put my sleep in sleep mode because, I
Child.
feel like it makes people feel comfortable when they see me nod off as asleep every now and then.
Really, this was the. Yeah, okay. Have a seat, young one. And do you take a seat? Do you sit back down?
Yeah, he just like hops up, their little feet swing up in the air, and they go right down.
As soon as you finally sit down this time, you hear that stereotypical sound of clasps wrapping around your little arms. These are just safety precautions for your benefit.
He pulls his arms out of the clasp and holding them up because they were too big.
Yarn? and like she holds out her hand, and one of the sisters, grumbling, will hand over a little ball of red yarn and start gently just kind of wrapping your hands, and then like even kind of like almost like duct tape, just trying to like make sure that like you're in place but not like uncomfortable. Okay.
Now what?
All right, so now we need you to sit quietly for a moment. We must say some words. Sisters! And the three of them set themselves up to circle around you. And they begin chanting.
As soon as they start chanting, like they soon get really into it. It gets slow and quiet. Sparksy is just sitting there watching them, and then the sounds is broken by
Bird up. Bird up.
I'm sorry. That's me. That's me. Can you hit the button right there on my chest, please? That's my alarm for my lunch break, and I'm supposed to take my allotted hour lunch break as the union told me to do.
The one, pushes the button. Maybe a little more coarsely than intended, but still the button pushed.
a little tray shoots out of their chest, and there's a tuna fish sandwich in there. And these tiny little extra arms sprout out, and they pick up the tuna sandwich, and they just go to town and go, "Ow!"
I was going to say at least he's going to be quiet for a moment. They continue, sisters, and they will continue. At this time, Tink and Lopa, what is it that you are doing after you heard all sorts of bizarre things starting to come out from one end?
Does that sound like something you recognize, Lopa? Lopa, I can't hear you. Your voice box must be turned off. Mine comes with a little switch if you just click it.
Dragged subtly on stream. Love to see it. I shake my head. No. And then I think if this the octave of the screeching growling that I heard with it is the same octave as the voice that welcomed me in here. Was it?
Oh no.
Okay.
Nope. Completely different voice.
Okay, so I'm not inclined to go in that direction, but it's the only lead that we have. So have to go over there. Great.
Yes.
And if you are approaching, you are uninterrupted and will eventually see from your angle. It is a slightly better view from being far away, but there are these symbols carved into the stone underneath where Sparksy is currently seated. And almost as if like blue flame evaporating is starting to kind of eep upwards from these symbols around all of the Eno, as well as this little robot who is happily munching on a tuna sandwich. You hear the sisters, these three Eno again, these chubby little smush-faced cats, chanting.
I
The
Hey,
sis-
do you have like uh, a bullhorn of some kind noise, something extremely loud? Do you have anything like that? I don't think they could hear you.
Oh, of course. I heard that was the polite way to do it. But
Well-
yes, I actually have, and then just like a siren will like start going up. Like red and blue lights coming out of my head. and
Lopa
spinning.
is pleased. Lopa is pleased.
Sparksy looks up. Their cheeks are just full with tuna sandwich. They look up, they're like,
I saw that tiny robot. Hello, tiny robot.
Wow, you're the big one I saw earlier.
Yes, I wanted to meet you. It's strange that you're in this same odd place that we are.
Oh, well, I don't think it's really odd. I mean, they said they needed my help, so I went with them.
Oh. Well, we may need their help.
Oh, you
So
do?
maybe we need your help also.
Oh, well, I'm always down to help people in need. It's what I do, because my name is Sparksy. Nice to meet you.
and then Sparksy pulls their arms back out from the yarn and hops up and holds a hand out to Tink.
Tink will lean an arm down and give a shake to Sparksy's arm.
Sparksy's basically holding onto Tink's finger.
It's nice to meet you, Sparksy. I'm Tink. This is my friend, but she can tell her own story. We are looking for some help. And hello, and like directing it at the.
No, you have to be quiet because they're doing chanting, and if you interrupt the chanting, you'll get really annoyed.
As you say that, their heads unnaturally snap backwards, and light is emitting from their eyes, their nostrils, their mouth, and these bright beams that just shoot up into the air. You hear and can see something swirling in this light. Hundreds, no, thousands, no. There's so many. It's almost like the stars in the sky are just swirling and swirling. However, occasionally some light beams kind of blast out one way and pass out another, and you kind of get this like wailing sound, this as each of them pass. The cat's unmoving, just not saying anything. They're stuck. Oh, we do have two. Oh, thank you, Drath. There, we have two corruption bars. We're engaged in one right now.
Lopa, is this where we need to be?
Just lots of whining. And also she sniffed Sparksy a lot because she wants to know if that oily smell off of Sparksy is the same oily smell that she smelled back that way in the midst of the dust and everything. Was it the same oily smell?
Yes, you get a sense that the scent is coming from Sparksy.
Okay, well, that is disappointing, but that's like a back burner type of deal. Like, this shit's happening and it was worthless because it only brought us to this thing. That's cute, but that's whatever. Oh God, what's going on? And just like seeing all the swirly stuff. Not okay. Not okay. Very scared.
And eventually these ghost-like figures that are swirling around kind of start forming into one larger creature of light, of a wailing, and it begins to take on the shape of a face, or at least something that is slightly recognizable as a face.
Welcome in.
Hello? Who are you?
We are all who once were.
Lopa's in the back of her head thinking how much of a fucking coincidence this is. But also like, oh good.
Can you explain?
Tink,
Yes.
we are family long lost. We are friends who once smiled and laughed. We are the souls left behind when the burn did not claim us.
Oh,
Oh.
and what do you do now?
We wait for eternity.
That's a long time.
That is more than a long time.
Lopa's like staring at one of the cats, contemplating kind of like just knocking one of them over because maybe that'll stop this whole thing. Just
What is it that you're doing in this moment?
me?
No, disembodied voice.
We wish to use what is left of our power.
I did not. I did not. That's not an option. That wasn't an option.
What option are you seeking?
Tink, what are you talking about?
Well, we just are looking for someone to make Lopa feel better.
We can provide each of you with something to feel better.
What's the cost?
A promise.
What promise?
Go beyond the burn.
I wanna.
You must. Yes, Sparksy.
You know my name?
We do.
Well, I don't want to be rude or anything, but, I feel fine, so I really don't need anything. So if you want, you can take whatever you were gonna give me and give to one of them. Maybe they can split it, or they can do rock paper scissors over it. I mean, I just don't need it.
What if it was a sandwich, Sparksy?
You keep talking.
It seems like they know more than we understand. Maybe they know exactly what you need.
Well, I was told to come here because I have a destiny to fulfill. Do you know what my destiny is? Because people are telling me that I have a big purpose, and they said something has to be awakened in me, but I feel very awake. Especially when I use my alarm.
Bird up.
Can I want to I want to understand this disembodied voice. I want to understand. I want to confirm what they're telling me they are. So I'm going to roll, because if they are what they say they are, then they are all of the uploaded like sentience of the peace crafts, and I'm gonna roll computers
Oh,
to
I
try
love that.
to
Yes.
see if I can confirm that this is like the collective data talking to me.
Please do. That will be a difficulty of 3.
Ah! I failed.
You failed. What? Go ahead and describe how you're trying to translate that data.
Like while Sparksy is talking to them, I kind of like zone out and I'm trying to like see the ones and zeros in this like swirling pattern. I'm just trying to like pull it apart into its raw bits.
I would like you to take on a condition.
Okay.
Let me pull out condition. Condition. What is tonight? I don't know. Let's see. I'm gonna do this. Negative condition. So yeah. So go ahead and minor negative condition applied to a player character. Increase the complexity of a skill. Okay, so just take on a minor condition.
Minor.
Yeah.
Minor is the biggest heart with the minus sign, I think.
Is it the biggest one?
Or the littlest one.
I think it's the littlest one.
Okay. And do I apply it to any skill, or is it going to go to that one that I just tried to do?
It'll go to the one that you just tried to do. So computers right now will be at your littlest.
Got it. Okay. And I just like get muddled and I'm trying to pull apart too many strings and
it's
I
overwhelming. It almost fills you with this sorrow as you're trying to make this connection to reach out perhaps to the Peacecraft who are trapped here. I mean, you get the sense that these are trapped souls, but you can't quite decipher everything fully, and it just overwhelms your systems.
Our cries.
we'll do it. We'll do it.
What?
We have to do it.
My ears flicker, and I would like to process whether or not the voice, this swirling voice, doom, is the same voice that I heard invite us in.
Yes, go ahead and roll. Complexity 2.
Let me use perception again.
Yes, it's the same voice.
Okay. I believe in your agency. So that's confirmation from I believe in.
Close your eyes. Shut down your
I take the one sticker that I put on her thing, like the last one that I put back on. I take it and I put it in the bag.
Thank you for the assist. Thank you.
And then I close my eyes.
The little two monitors that are Sparksy's eyes just turn off.
As each of you respectively shut down your visual sensors, you are slammed with like a gust of wind that feels like somebody just took like a glass pane and shattered it across your bodies. It went through you and through your own souls, the things that make you tick. And each of you, together, can see one another, perhaps in a truer form, in a form that you've always wanted, in a form that you have always seen yourself to be. You are in this vast white dimension. It feels... You feel no need here. You feel no want here. Your systems are as powered as they can be. Your health is as healthy as can be. Any ailments, Lopa, specifically with the decaying body of Lopa, seem to be back at 100%.
See, Sparksy is represented by this 20-foot tall peacecraft body built for war and combat, looking like it can destroy star systems, planets, but the head is the tiny little Sparksy head just sitting right on top of it.
That's amazing. Tink is her same relative size and shape, but is shiny and has floral prints in her metal and etches of names and drawings that have been scraped into the metal all over. She has a little like flowers glued all over the place. There are stickers and jewels and stuff, and she's just sparkling, and she's got lots of different, nothing matches. It's not color coded, it's just all pretty things all over.
Wow, Tink, you look so pretty.
Sparksy, you look like a killing machine, and I mean that.
I know. I'm so tall. Look at you down there.
What does Lopa look like?
Well, there are 3 souls, and the soul that is representing the body here is Zavoy-Lopa, because there is only Zavoy-Lopa. What Zavoy-Lopa super duper wants, though, is for the body to live forever. And so what you see before you is like if you took like Metal Gear Rising Raiden Warframe and then made it a furry, and that's what it looks like. It's just the most streamlined biomech machine. Just it looks very sleek, pristine. It's the best tech, and it will most likely outlive the burn. And that's what they're imagining in their head. Oh, also the only as a bonus, because Zavoy-Lopa is very sentimental about their body, is the only thing that is visibly bio, even though it's biomechanical, is fuzzy fur tail. This guy fuzzy fur tail still has his long fuzzy fur tail, and that's necessary. I still have my beans.
You have to have the beans. You can't not have the beans.
I have my beans in my hands and my toes and my snout, and that's the bio parts that are, if you touched it, it feel like me. And so that is what I look like. And so I'm looking at doing everything, and then I like open my mouth, and it's like I can taste again. It smells so good. Oh, fresh air. Because this body's been through some shit. it's brand new, fresh body.
Lopa, you look better. Is that what you looked like before you got sick?
No, I don't think. No, definitely not. No. Whoa! Whoa! go! And I spin 3 times trying to catch my tail. It's ridiculous. I actually do catch it in my mouth.
Well done, Lopa.
Wow, Lopa! You look so cool!
Thanks. I'm just...
Disembodied. Oh, sorry.
What? Never mind. Won't ask. I'm just happy for the both of you. You're very tall.
I always wanted just to be really tall. Maybe that's why I look like this.
Is it hard to see from up there?
Well, kinda, because my head is still small and my body's really big, so I really can't see past my chest.
Looking around, this is just still white space.
Yep, still just white space.
If I walk around, does it feel like I'm on solid ground?
If that's what your circuitry would want and expect, then yes.
Huh.
Essentially, this room, Lopa, there's nothing to smell here, but you know that you have a sense of smell and taste. So whatever you had wanted to smell and taste, you could. So Tink, if you want to walk or float or fly, you would be capable of doing any or all. This room seems to defy known physics.
Jenny, we're in a different place. And if you, possibly can understand things here, I just want to say I hope it's okay that I took you with me. I know I didn't wait for an answer. But that's all.
Hey, Peacecraft friend, how you doing? I'm feeling good over here.
And if you were to turn around, hearing the voice, you see, well, what had been that little pebble that you'd taken with you. Jenny. And they are fully evolved at this point. Large in stature, crystalline, with other little pebbles kind of all around them, just kind of staring over at you with a big, crystalled, toothy grin. They absolutely look like an Orin, which are the stone people.
You look very well, Jenny.
Thank you. You don't look so bad yourself there. I'm digging all the flowers, especially the ones in your hair.
Thank you. You're very wise. Do you know this place?
Can't say I've ever been here before. I don't know what's the ceiling or what's the floor.
Disembodied voice?
Yes.
Oh, that was loud. Oh.
This is nice. And We will do what you ask. What is this place?
Grudgingly.
This is the space where those who pass remain. Are we dead? No. Not yet.
Oh.
It's a flawed piece of delivery without telling us where you're putting us. The white void in our truest forms does seem a little bit like we might be dead. Just in case you have to do this for the future. I hope not. I hope that we're successful. But if you do, it might be a kinder, softer approach.
We will take this into consideration. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
When you leave,
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, I'm very relieved to hear we're not dead.
when you leave here, these forms will not remain. Only Sparksy, you are already big. No matter how small you may physically be. When you reach the burn, and you will reach the edge. I have the notes. I think it's over here. Sorry. I know, no, take your time. I understand. I like to write down the things.
I do not agree with Gnome's real gnome voice with the filter still on. That was
Oh, I loved it.
I would like a recording. That was pretty great.
Wow. Well, I'm gonna. I'll have to hear what that sounded like because I have no idea what this sounds like at all. So, just rolling with it.
Eisenarl. I think that's not the thing. Aranese. How is it spelled? If you say the word out loud, it helps me remember. Aranese. Or ENACE. Yeah, I get it. Okay. It is on the outskirts of Olaxis. There, you will need a map to guide you to a new location. When needed, or lost in time, it will allow you to go beyond the burn. Do not fear the burn.
At this point, like Sparksy poofs back. Well, it doesn't poof. Like they slowly, like Michael Bay style, transform back into their normal size because the words from the disembodied voice hit them hard because they had confidence issues on their sides. But since they said they are big on the inside, they like transform back to their normal state, and they raise a tiny little hand up.
I did all of that, but what do I have to do? will you go after we leave?
We will remain here for eternity, disconnected from all.
It's kind of sad. I'm supposed to go to the edge of the burn, right?
Yes.
And you are the remains of all of my people, right? Or what's left of them.
We are all peoples.
Well, I think that's more of a reason you should go to the burn. Because, I mean, probably the edge of the burn is the one thing you've never seen. And you said you don't know everything. But if you go to the burn, I guess you would know everything. So you should come with us.
We hope to. You are our last opportunity to travel beyond the burn.
And as they say that, almost as if there's static interference, the light kind of starts to dim around you, flickering. The voices a little bit more dissonant now, the whispers dissonant as well, until they stop and you are pulled from this light. You are back to yourselves, to your previous positions, to your previous bodies, although there are slight alterations for each of you. And I would love for us to take this moment to kind of go over what piece or entire pieces remain. What stayed with you? What is the gift that these spirits, these souls, offered in exchange for you to go beyond the burn? Sparksy, this would be your story path. Tink, this would be your story path. And Lopa, your story path as well. Please go ahead and describe what does this look like? What do you feel? What do you look like? Before we have to close for the evening.
So when they leave the white space, Sparksy looks exactly the same. Like everything about them looks totally the same. Like the same cute little robot. But the one thing is not something that can be seen. But well, there is something you can see that's different. They have a fancy new hat that is really shiny and nice looking. Like they had an old grungy looking hat, but the hat is now shiny and fancy and new. But what you can't see is though, internally, they are now made to hold larger sources of memory. Their hard drive has been exponentially increased, specifically to hold that entity in them and take them to the edge of the galaxy, because their destiny is to take this entity to the edge of the galaxy and show them everything that is possible.
Tink has no more bright golden glowing metal exterior. But she has some like threaded red hair with flowers in it. And that remained from the white room. And new eye stickers. New eye stickers. Brand new eye stickers. They're not wrinkled at all.
You have like a whole like scrapbook of like new eye
Eye
stickers or
stickers.
something.
Good.
Yeah, just all sorts, all cool kinds. Yeah, for sure. Lopa?
So everything's pretty much the same, but not. They don't got no clothes. They kind of got thrown out the window. But what's there is an Eno on the ground, still black with white spots, ears, eyes, whatever. But all the weak spots that were rotting on their body have been replaced with tech. So from the wrists up, tech, from the knees down, tech, the base of their tail and the whole pelvis area is tech. Chest up and the whole face area is tech. So they are gonna be fine for now. For now. And they're near unrecognizable to anyone who doesn't know them. They still got the same red eyes, and the plating on their bodies is still black and shiny, so it matches their fur. So from a distance, like whatever, but it's still Lopa. But they are cold. They need new robes.
Sparksy runs over to Lopa, and they reach into the little chest cavity and they pull out, keep it pulling out because they're tiny, pull out a large robe and throw it over you.
There you go. Maybe you'll be warm after that.
Thanks. And I just kind of pull it over my body. I'm just going with the flow at this point because my brain's all frazzled, and at least I'm not dying anymore, but I really don't want to go to the burn.
Well, we can't go yet, but it's possible I have the map.
You do?
But you went to sleep the other night, and I went into the cave, and I spoke to well, the walls, and then the walls gave me this, and I'll kind of like project up like the image of the kind of semi decoded, half undecoded mess of a map. It's unreadable at this juncture, but I believe there's someone here who can decode it.
I know someone who exactly can encode it. Their name is. Hold on, where is the business card? Okay. Their name is Jimmy Onis. Help. There we go. Why do they always use help when they can't read help?
Give me that. And I read the card as it's actually read. Okay. And how do you know for certain that this is a person we can trust?
Oh, because my giant rock friend told me.
I do trust that. I happen to.
You have a rock friend too?
Yes. They are in a cave where we just came from.
I have a rat friend too. I left them at the service station I work at. They're currently working there. So this is what they look like.
And they hold out their hand and a little like hologram pops up out of their hand, but it doesn't look like a hologram. It looks like a crayon drawing of Sparksy and that giant aura that gave him the mission they were supposed to be on. And it says, like, you see a little tiny stick figure of Sparksy holding the hand of this gigantic rock monster, and it says BFFs forever.
I was scanning the card to memory because I now have that tech in me while y'all were having that wonderful time. And then I just like silently give the card back to Sparksy because thank you. Well, then everyone's just making friends all around the galaxy. Fantastic.
You want to be my friend?
I don't know yet.
I want to be your friend.
That sounds lopsided.
Think you want to be my friend? I know we're both peace crafts, and I understand, people say peace crafts are supposed to stick together, but I feel like, all of us, we can all be friends together as we do this. So, think we can be friends also. And I can be friends with Lopa, and I guess when we find this guy, I can be friends with him too.
The only condition, though, to being friends with me is you're going to have to do what Tink did and learn to put your voice down several octaves. Do you have an octave meter?
Yes.
Like this?
Well, we try to keep a low profile in public when out with Lopa.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
But not obnoxiously so. You just, you could sing like we overheard, but just not with jazz hands. Can you hum?
Oh, yeah, I can hum.
You are limited to humming.
What about whistling?
We'll work on that.
What about ham boning?
Pardon? No, stop it.
Sparksy, I think it is a relief that we're going to travel together. It's better in numbers, especially to do something dangerous. But it is important that we keep quiet and normal as possible. I have a lot of difficulty with that, but I think that we can help each other.
Maybe we can work together. If you have a lot of difficulty, and I have a lot of difficulty, put us together. We can solve the problem together and be one normal peace craft.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a good idea. One normal peace craft.
There's nothing wrong with the two of you. You're just both loud.
As we hear Lopa say that, the camera's gonna pull back and kind of rush its way through the space station until we see a scarred, grayed Eno with wrappings all around him, his crooked and burnt tail swishing to the side, and he kind of looks up at the sign that says Grand Adventure and Galactic Discoverer of Wonders, Jiminy Onus Arrow. As Burnt Tail stands at the front of his ship. And we'll find out what happens there next week when Mike makes his return. That's it for Starstruck, our Burn Bryte show tonight. Big thank you to Roll20 real quick. A, for sponsoring this episode, and B, for allowing us to be part of your Roll20 spotlight. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. We are having a blast using Burn Bryte over in Roll20. It makes things a lot easier. Yes, hashtag blame Mike. But don't blame all of the wonderful folks in chat who helped, even though we don't have a visual of it. We had 2 corruption bars today, so thank you so very much for your support. That always goes and helps compensate these wonderful folks for their time, and also creates interesting things that happen in games, such as there was so many disruptions to the spell that was being cast. This wasn't supposed to happen. But y'all are just really good players, and we went with it, as well as the Pebble. And before we do our round table, Tink, if you were to kind of open up that pouch to check.
So I actually had planned to. I wasn't sure how much time we had left, but I had planned.
1 minute. We have 60 seconds.
60 seconds.
I gotta bounce real soon.
Tink will take a moment at her first opportunity alone, and we'll start.
Oh, I think we lost your mic.
You mute it.
Oh,
yep, there you go.
She will say, "Jenny, save file," and start recapping what happened as they pull out the pouch and open it.
That's adorable. We're not going to know what's inside that pouch until next week, though.
Okay.
This is the perfect. That's exactly how I wanted to end. So that was perfect, Diana. Thank you. Let's go ahead and do a quick round robin. See who everybody is. What do you got going on? Let us know one thing that you have going on this week. Only because, like I said, time. Got to bounce real fast. So I was gonna say Lopa and Luma. It's very close. Luma, who are you? Where can we find you? What you got going on?
Hi, I am Lopa, apparently. Also Luma. I play games with these people and they're amazing, and you should totally check out everything that they're doing the rest of this week. As for me, I have a yard sale going on, a virtual yard sale, because being sick is expensive and repairing sick bodies is also expensive. So I'm gonna try and put this in the chat. If y'all will spread the word about my yard sale, is a bunch of video games, box arts, anime, stuff like that. If you see something you like, please be inclined to help me out. And if you don't see something you like and you're still inclined to help me out, I'd really appreciate it, because my body needs help and I'm not getting any younger. As I know it's hard to tell, but I am not. So please help. Thank you so much. Retweet. And the sale ends on the 11th. So you got a little bit of time left. And I'm going to popcorn to the bestest little box robot ever.
Oh boy, it's me, Uwally, your favorite non-binary slime best friend on the internet. Outside of this, right now, I'm just keeping it chill right now. You can find me every other Sunday over at the Killer DMs channel playing some Mask Sunset City. We're gonna be playing this week. We got the big drama coming soon, so check that out. It happens pretty late, so you know what? If you can't catch it, you can always catch that video on demand. But yeah, that's where you can find me coming up soon.
Awesome. And last but not least, Diana, what's up?
Hi, I'm Diana. I'm Super Dylan everywhere, and that's where you find out all the things I do. But the one thing, I have things going on, but most importantly, starting in a few hours, it is my birthday tomorrow, and I am insistent on being the center of attention. So
burn up!
No, you You have told me that you want to be the center of attention on your birthday? Me of all people? Oh no, you're gonna be in for a reckoning tomorrow. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Diana, you have no idea what you've just unleashed into the world.
I didn't even consider it, but yeah. But that's it. I'm just really excited because last year's birthday was Sad Towns, and I'm not having it this year. No Sad Towns.
I feel this. Do it.
We'll make sure. We'll make sure it's gonna be a good ass birthday. Oh yeah. Well, thank y'all so much. My name is Noam. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram at unMadeGaming. I do all sorts of things. We're gonna bounce because I have to go produce another show. If you're looking for some D&D, where they're raising money for charity every week, over on Them Together Studios, playing Rime of the Frost Maiden, you can catch some really cool folks over there. If you like the Decemberists and the Shins, there's folks from there who are playing as well as Charlie from Oni Press. So, plus Keith Baker, it's a good time. It's some pretty good classic D&D. Gesundheit Pupik. There's a lot of sneezing going on here today. But thank you. We'll be back next week, and Mike will join us. Remember, note to self, when I hit transition, it's going to just